then in Punjab, now in Haryana, without a doubt. But there is a dispute regarding the date and year of his birth. There is neither any birth certificate nor any other record about it, and the year could be 1949 or 1950. And his mother, Tara Devi, always told him that he was born 2 days after Dashera. Later, when he joined school in Sinor, near Patiala, his Mamaji or maternal uncle picked the 9th of March 1950 as his birth date and year. That stuck as the official date. Years later, around 1976, when he came to Bombay, Om decided to give himself a new birth date. He looked up the 2 days after Dashera. That year decided to keep 18th October as his birthday, and since then, that is the day he celebrates with friends and family. So at times he receives birthday cards twice a year. It took him so long to decide on a birthday because he never had the occasion to remember or celebrate it throughout his school and college years. Apart from the fact that his mother made kheer 2 days after Dashera each year while she lived. No fancy parties or dinners, just a bowl of simple kheer made at home to celebrate the birth of one of India's finest actors. As many years later, his friend and colleague, actor Nasiruddin Shah, was to remark, Om was born with a wooden spoon in his mouth. Even when as young as 5, Om used to collect coal from the railway tracks and bring it home to be used as fuel. Once, Om and his friend found an egg. Om had never seen one, but his friend explained that it was something edible. His mother would not let him enter the house with it, but gave them an empty oil tin can and some wood. The boys lit a fire, boiled the egg in the tin can, and then ate it with great relish. It was perhaps the first time Om had tasted any kind of non-vegetarian food. The next chapter is called Bombay 1976. Om's first assignment in Bombay was an ad film directed by Govind Lani for a packaging firm. He got the assignment through Nasir, who was also in the film. They both acted as factory workers, and Om got 800 rupees. They shot the film somewhere near Mahalakshmi studio, and Om remembers his first fancy meal, a lunch out with Govind and Nasir at Shamiana restaurant, now Viva Pashchin, near Bangalore. Not much happened for Om in those initial days. He survived on the odd job of a voiceover or a stray role here and there. In 1977, he acted in Godhuli, which was co-directed by B.V. Karant and Sri Girish Karnad. Another film he did during this time was Shayad, which got him his first fan. He distinctly remembers the fruit seller next to Lucky Restaurant in Bandra, who told him, "Aapne bahut acha kaam kiya." Meanwhile, he decided to get himself a steady job that would at least ensure his monthly rent. His teacher from the FDI, Roshan Taneja, had opened an acting school in Bombay called Actors Studio a few years earlier. Om went to Taneja, who offered him to teach speech and movement on a salary of 800 rupees a month. Plus, he was paid extra for overtime. Om taught for a year, and amongst his brightest students in school were Anil Kapoor, Gulshan Grover, Mazhar Khan, Surinder Pal, and Madan Jain. Om remembers them as a bunch of enthusiastic young boys who would badger him with questions during the break. They often treated him to tea and snacks, and even walked him to the bus stop in June. They were the best batch that Taneja produced, and according to Om, they all made it in films. Of all my teachers from school and college, Om Puri was the most vulnerable, innocent, and childlike. As a teacher, He wanted to give so much that once. The best thing that happened to Om in terms of a career boost was East is East. Later the next year, when Om called up from Cannes saying that the standing ovation after the screening seemed never-ending, we realized the enormity of its success. Many other films followed, including popular television films like White Teeth, based on Zadie Smith's novel, Second Generation, and Canterbury Tales. These telefilms for the BBC and Channel 4 were also responsible for making Om a household face in the United Kingdom, where he worked for the next 8 years or so. Being away in England for the major part of the year, filmmakers in India assumed he had settled there. And people in England wondered why he had to go back to Bombay every time. Don't you live in London? They would ask, surprised. The director of 2 of his British films, Brothers in Trouble and My Son the Fanatic, Uday Prasad said of him, he has a huge presence on the screen. The camera just loves him. If you are sitting with Om Puri, you better be good, else nobody will be looking at the other guy. And there's no one better than me to say that right now. Om is the very best known Indian actor in Britain of his time apart from Shilpa Shetty. Personally, I would liken him to Gene Hackman. Earlier on, Mike Nichols had also said about Om that he was brilliant in Wolf and made many things believable through the powerful presence and with a special kind of detail that is unmatched by any actor I know. Before Om, Kabir Bedi and Saeed Jaffrey had tried their luck in English films, but they couldn't really make their mark due to the colonial attitudes that were still prevalent at the time. After City of Joy, Om got himself accepted by one of UK's top screen agents, Jeremy Conway, who has been quietly advising Om regarding his projects in the West for more than a decade. More than anything else, Om was never under the illusion that after a lead role in an American film, he was the next big import from India for Hollywood. The first thing I told Jeremy was, I may call you once in a while, but meaning to say hello or to wish you a happy new year. I will not push you to find me work. My acting shop is running well in India, so whatever I do abroad will be a bonus. It was this winning attitude which endeared me to Jeremy. In Jeremy's words, I am happy to be a part of Om's success story, having collaborated with him in shaping his career in the West. But the credit goes to him as he is an amazingly good actor. After seeing City of Joy, I felt he essayed the role so realistically. He hardly acted. He has an amazingly strong face, which gives his roles so much character. And as Leslie Woodward, producer of East is East, succinctly put it, I had heard of Om being described as the Robert De Niro of India. And that is a magnificent compliment. Really, Om Puri commands international respect, in the sense that you can cast Om Puri and the film will get funded. Ladies and gentlemen.